under restorative justice, you say that focuses on identifying model school and practices for replication throughout the district. That's a quote. And I'm just wondering, who are some of our model restorative justice schools that you guys are aware of? And can you speak to some of their practices and how OSSI might work in replicating that work in other schools so that we can start to lift up some of these places that are doing it in a really profound way?
I'll just share one school that I know I've spoken to personally and that has talked a lot about the impact of sort of multiple initiatives that have all worked together to support students in a different way and to fundamentally change their discipline numbers. In particular is Perry Street Public Charter School, Perry Street Prep Public Charter School. So they went from having a very high number of suspensions and expulsions, or suspensions at least in prior years, to I think in the most recent year having no suspensions. And it was at least in the conversation we had at the time we had it. And I think the shift there was really due to one, reframing the expectations and starting with the goal of having no suspensions among their staff. But then secondly, really leaning into the supports they were providing as part of an overall school model to engage students in a different way, but also to help staff members better understand the root causes of student misbehavior. And so this gets at, the use of clinical staff within a school building. They received a grant through OSSI that they used to add additional clinicians, social workers, and clinicians to their building, and used those additional staff positions to not only provide direct services to students, but also to work with teachers, both through whole school PD, but also through one-on-one consultations, to really help teachers understand when a misbehavior happened in their classroom, help them think through what might be the root causes of that misbehavior and what might be other ways that we could support that student, both in the moment of crisis, but also sort of more generally so that things don't escalate to a crisis situation. And I think it was really the combination of the expectations and the goal that the school set as the additional personnel, but then the really thoughtful use of that personnel to support all educators in the building that I've heard the school really attribute their significant change in data to.
I went over there and toured last year and was blown away by it as well. And I know the principal there has now been nominated by the Washington Post to be Principal of the Year for good reason. So it does work. It's just a matter of getting it implemented with fidelity and then follow through. And it's really hard, but it is doable. Mr. Chairman.